words in the Arabic language which could be used for history. Why do we call the history of the Prophet's life Seerah? And a unique answer that was given by Imam Suyuti rahimahullah when asked, why do we call it Seerah? Because pre the Islamic inception of Islam and the coming of the Prophet, they would call Seerah, they would use Seerah as any historical recollection. When they were speaking about anything, it would be called the Seerah of something or someone. How is it so that we coined the life of the Prophet as Seerah? And he explained the word Sara Yasiru, which means to actually travel. And it means to travel following the footsteps of somebody else. So when someone's walking in front of you, as you're walking behind them and you're walking upon their path, this is called Seerah. So the Seerah of the Prophet was called Seerah because he lived his entire life, and we're learning his life for one specific purpose, not for historical recollections, because we could call that tarikh, history. We could call that just general knowledge. But the name of the Prophet's history, which is called Seerah, has a unique benefit, because within it there's a subtle indication that we learn this history in the life of this man so we can follow his pathway, so we can continue living our life like how he lived his life. And therefore it was called Seerah, and it became coined as Seerah. Now no one can say that I'm learning Seerah and it refers to anybody else's life, because now it was set and coined for the life of the Prophet ﷺ. So when we say I'm the Seerah of the Prophet, it's not the information of the Prophet's life, the facts and the figures and the movements and the historical narrations. That is not Seerah. Seerah is learning his life so that there's an application that we can bring into our own life. And therefore, the name Seerah was used. The importance of learning is it's not just important in our religion, it is the foundational presence of our religion that allows us to become Muslims. Because this religion started off with a command of learning and education. So every aspect, education is important. Obviously, I won't spend too much time on this part. The ayah of the Quran is وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا, where, oh Allah, please increase me in knowledge. Knowledge is not only power when it comes to the sciences of this world. Knowledge is power for our deen, because it allows us to learn how to live our lives. When we think about Adam alayhi salam's creation, his body was formed and crafted for 40 days. It was left there for people to see. So angels came and they saw Adam alayhi salam's body. Iblis came, Shaitan, he saw Adam alayhi salam's body. But neither of them were really impressed by his physical stature. Because physically he was present, but he wasn't alive yet, but his body was there. And neither of them were truly impressed by him. And then after some time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala placed within Adam alayhi salam his ruh. وَنَفَخْتُ فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِي. And the moment he placed within him his ruh was the moment that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed and displayed the honor of Adam over all of the other creation. ثُمَّ عَرَضَهُ عَلَى الْمَلَائِكَةِ. Then he was presented to the angels. When was he presented to the angels? When the ruh was placed within him, and thereafter, عَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءِ. He was given and endowed with the blessing of knowledge. That's what allowed him, when Allah asked the angels, أَنْبِئُونِي بِأَسْمَاءِ هَؤُلَاءِ. Allah didn't ask the angels, can you run faster? Can you go grab that quicker? How strong are you? To impose the superiority of Adam alayhi salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used the quality of knowledge, where He said to the angels, tell me about these things. And the angels said, well, we don't know these things. لَا عِلْمَ لَنَا إِلَّا مَا عَلَّمْتَنَا. Then Allah looks at Adam and says, okay, أَنْبِئْهُمْ بِأَسْمَاءِ هَؤُلَاءِ. And you tell them what all of these things refer to. And he responded, and then and there, the angels were told to perform sajda. So there was knowledge which showed and displayed the superiority of Adam alayhi salam until today, not general education, the knowledge of Allah's deen, which allows us to learn how to live our lives. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قُلْ هَلْ يَسْتَوِي الَّذِينَ يَعْلَمُونَ وَالَّذِينَ يَعْلَمُونَ. Can the people who know be the same as those who don't know? The Prophet says, مَنْ سَلَكَ طَرِيقًا يَلْتَمِسُ فِيهِ عِلْمًا سَهَّلَ اللَّهُ لَهُ بِهِ طَرِيقًا إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ. whosoever seeks the path of knowledge, and this is as generic as possible. This doesn't say whosoever commits their life to knowledge, whosoever goes to a boarding school for 12 years. Man salaka tariq, whosoever seeks out a path of learning knowledge, Allah will make their path of Jannah easy for them. And we take it at the face value of that. Today we're here for no other purpose but to learn the knowledge of Seerah. And we expect and hope from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that this is such a knowledge through which our journey of akhirah will also become easy for us.